Welcome to Petty Rick Tapes. This is your host Andy. I won't be joined by Arnav today, because he's out a little bit. Work related stuff. He's visiting Mumbai for a couple of days. And so it's just me. And we'll be talking about a few things. Some things that have been on my mind, some things that I've been watching, some things that God knows why the fuck do I watch those things as well. Some fucked up things that recently I found out, for example, that there is a Viagra in Thailand that keeps your dick hard for 3 days. Yeah, they take it on a Friday. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 days of non-stop fun. Fucking hell, that's not for me. Well, so what did I do last week? Yesterday, what I did, I just wasted a lot of time watching this T20 match that was on between India and South Africa. Oh fucking hell. What a fucked up match. It started very good. We put up 211 for 4 wickets in 20 overs on the board. We batted first. And then South Africa came. And towards the beginning of the 19th over, they won. They completed the fucking target and just by losing only 3 wickets. And not even 5 balls left. Fucking hell, what an amazing show of proper what a champion actually is. That is David Miller. That is 64 runs in just 31 balls. He was also chosen as the player of the match yesterday. But, when we as well batted, that was also a very amazing feat. Ishan Kishan went on to score 76 runs for 48 balls. Shreyas Iyer did an amazing 36 for 27. Hardik Pandya did 31 for 12. But it was a good score, I think. There have been how far can you go with? How more can you actually put up 120 overs? And 211, in my opinion, is pretty good. Not great, because there have been a couple of more high scores that we have seen before. But again, we lost, and the game completely turned in the last 4 overs, I think. Yeah, as I was watching it. And when I started watching, I took a break in the middle. I didn't see how India batted. I was just looking at the highlights and how they were doing and everything. But when I started watching it and I saw that South Africa was already down 2 wickets and they hadn't even completed. They were, I think, on their 8th over or something. And as soon as I started watching, another wicket fell. And I was like, fuck, this is going to be an amazing match. India's going to win. It's already 3 wickets. And they needed something like 111 runs under 69 balls or something. And I was watching the match and I was very relieved of the fact that, okay, this is going to be an easy win. Down the line, as soon as David Miller came, and he just completely fucked it up for India. I don't know. And then towards last 15 balls right before they won the match, you just knew, you could see on the fucking screen that they were going to actually win the match, because the Indian side dropped a catch. We had some misfields as well. We got a couple of 4 runs, just like this, just like a whiff of the fucking hand. And it was like the tables had turned. But fuck. And then I realized I had wasted almost an hour. When I thought it was going to win, other than that, I would have been watching another fucking YouTube video. As such, I'm not doing too much with my time these days anyway. But it was for South Africa to actually go out there and complete the score and reach the target. That was a good game from their side as well. India fucked it up a little bit on the bowling side, but well, it's just a bad day if you're having. What can you say? I mean, I absolutely love the bowling of Aksar Patel. Aksar Patel is a fucking amazing bowler, but he bowled 4 overs, took 1 wicket, and gave 40 fucking runs. Still very less. Still very less. I mean, if you see Harshal Patel he gave 43 for 4 overs, Bhuvneshwar Kumar did the same. All these three took 1 wickets that gave an average of 40 runs in their 4 overs spell. And yeah, I mean, I thought, fucking hell, I'm still bummed out for the fact that they were going to win. And then we didn't win. But what can you do? Plus, the entire fucking stadium was filled. I mean, I wasn't in the stadium, I was watching it live at home. But I saw the entire stadium, the Arun Jaitley Stadium, it was completely filled. Everyone was so fucking disappointed. Paid so much of money and then you went and you know the game is in your fucking hands, but then you lose it in four or 5 hours or something like that. Which was like a fucking nightmare, a dream turning into a fucking nightmare in just a matter of minutes. It was funny as hell as well. But nevertheless, we still have, this was only the first match of India with South Africa. The T20 series is going to go for 4 more matches. So we never know. And India might turn around and we might just get a win in the next game. And another amazing batsman that I haven't mentioned, that is Razzie Wenderson. That is a South African player who scored 75 runs in under 46 balls off a strike rate that was 163.04. I mean, fucking hell, this guy can do some damage. And the 5 6s that he put up, holy shit. I think it was the 18th over or something when it was done. Not even 18th, I think it was 16th or 17th over when Bhuvneshwar did a spell and gave 22 runs. And wow, it was just a 4, a 6, 1, it was just back to back, and you just knew that these guys were going to hit home run. They're going to fucking win. And David Miller had a strike rate of 206. Like I said, he batted for 64 runs against 31 balls. But the best strike rate that I saw was of Dwayne Pretorius. 29 runs under 13 balls. That is 4 fucking 6s. With a strike rate of 223.08. I mean, what the fuck? 223. And 4 6s in just 13 balls. With one single 4. Other than that, it was all okay. When it came to our bowling side, well, it wasn't much of a grand thing that we did. We did manage to get a little bit of good economy on a couple of bowlers, but the wickets that we needed, I mean, we needed a bunch of at least 2 or 3 more wickets between the spell of 11 to 15th over. If we had 2 or 3 wickets, or if we even had somehow pushed them hard with a couple of, even 1 maiden over or even a couple of dots in every single over, we would have made a difference, and actually it would have been a different story by the time we reached 19th over, which is when they won after the completion of 19th over. And as soon as the first ball of 20th over was put out by Yuzwe, our dear friend Yuzwe Chahal, and he basically bowled the ball and gave them a 4, and they won. And like I said, we needed wickets. Wickets were important, and another thing that was important was to have dot balls as such, and even one single maiden over would have made a lot of difference. And I didn't watch the side when India was batting, but when I went through the scorecard, I mean, what a fucking amazing batsman Ishan Kishan is. But like we have always seen Hardik Pandya doing what he does at number four, at number five. The strike rate of 258.33. That is 31 runs in 12 balls. And 3 6s and 2 4s. I mean, amazing. Fucking amazing. And other players that I didn't that much see, we had Shreyas Iyer. He batted for 36 runs against 27 balls. We had Ruturaj Gaikwad doing 23 runs against 15 balls. Rishabh Pant doing 29 runs in 16 balls. Now, I haven't been following cricket as such in recent times. And I was fucking surprised that Rishabh Pant was the captain, or is the captain for this series. With Dinesh Karthik being there and a bunch of other really amazing players. It's a huge responsibility, and I mean, I hope he does good. And we'll see in coming matches in the series as well. And surprise as well. Another thing that Hardik Pandya was, if I'm not wrong, Hardik Pandya was leading Gujarat Lions in this IPL, which again came to me as a little bit of a surprise. I hope he gets to do. I hope he does that with India as well someday. If he gets that cap of leading them, it would be an amazing. It would be an amazing feat, and it would be an amazing treat for us to watch. How is he going to change things? What else can we expect? And yeah, I was correct. The team is captained by Hardik Pandya and coached by Ashish Nehra. Yep. Ashish Nehra is coaching the bowling side, and we have the main coach as Gary Giston. Of course, the man we all know who's behind our 2011 win. And I mean, what a fucking amazing coach he is. I've seen it all. The 2011 World Cup was one of the greatest feat that we achieved. I remember that was the first time I was traveling back from Nashik, and I had never traveled alone. I think I would have been 15, 16, I don't remember. Somewhere like that, yeah. 11, 14, 15, yeah, 14 or 15. And I was coming back from Nashik to Indore, and I was in a bus. And I remember the streets were empty. It was like somewhere around 12 or something in the midnight. And then we heard celebrations on the roads. We entered a city, I don't remember which city to be exact, but I saw this procession leading out, and everyone was very happy. And what the fuck happened? And then I reach home in the morning and I find out that India has actually lifted the World Cup, the 2011 Cricket World Cup. And it's a regret for me that I was traveling that day and I couldn't catch the match live, because for a couple of years back then at my home, it was me and my uncle. We used to watch every single fucking cricket match together, and it was a fun. It was a fun. If there's a series going on, if there's a tour going on of India, and we would watch it. We would watch it religiously because I was a huge fan of cricket from childhood. I think. I mean, up until my teens, I used to play cricket a lot every fucking evening, mostly. Never played anything else. Never played. This little bit of hockey. I think I was a goalkeeper for handball in my school days, but again, never got interested too much into it. But cricket was the only go-to thing to do, and again, the place where I was living, every other kid used to just play cricket. We never played anything else. We never played basketball. We never played. tennis, table tennis, or anything else, any other than that. And it was fun times. It was amazing. We used to play. My mother used to hit me. She used to scold me. Why are you playing in the fucking sun? You're going to get sick. Because I've always been a sickly child. She was right at place. I hope, but my love for cricket actually subsided a little bit as soon as I moved out of Indore, came to Nashik and started playing football. So I think my days of being goalkeeper as a handball player did play a little bit of role that I became a goalkeeper in football as well. Or I think I was scared because I couldn't tackle the fucking ball or take it ahead, something like that. I don't know. But it was a fun couple of years of playing football as well. Played football for I think right after 2011, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, 14 to 15. We went to a state championship as well. A couple of, I think it's called clusters or something. I don't know if it happens now or not. CBSE used to do it. Clusters of couple of all the schools all over India used to visit one single place. They used to select a school where all these teams used to come upon. And there were a lot of other games happening as well. But football was one of the prime ones. Not the prime ones, but one of the, it used to be part of the entire tournament. And I remember we went to, that was the only fucking competition that I've ever been to when it comes to sports on the school level or state level, whatever the fuck you call it. And my, I don't remember how many goals they scored, but we lost with a fucking big margin. We never got to score any. One game. We played one fucking game and came back home. But it was a fun weekend. It was an entire week of staying there. Just like 15 of us, I think 15 of us or something like that. 15 players with one of our professors at that, one of our teachers rather at that time. Our PE teacher. And damn, during the fucking evening we would play handball. It was like a fucking full circle. I used to play handball in school days. That is, rather in middle school, I used to play that. And then in high school, I came and shifted from cricket to football. And then again, we are in this fucking tournament. We're playing, God knows what kind of fucking football we were playing. I mean, we just played one match and didn't get selected, lost with a big margin. Came back, and then in the evening, we were playing fucking handball in the lawn. It was the weirdest fucking end circle I've ever been into. But those are the good days, and I'm fucking absolutely cherish it. So my relationship with cricket has been like an on and off again thing. I didn't watch this IPL. I mean, I think it would have been probably again early 2012 or 13 that I would have actually watched one single IPL completely. What they used to do is they used to create this entire timetable of all these, I don't know how many matches used to happen, 40 or something or 50, and between all these 8 or 10 teams according to the year that they were in. And I remember on the front page or usually on the second page of the newspaper, that is the Times of India or something, they used to give the entire schedule that this date, this is the time, these are the two teams that are going to play, and down to the final playoffs, in the quarterfinals, in the semis, and then the final. And it used to be, I used to cut that fucking thing out and keep it with me. I think I just did that once or twice maybe, and followed one single IPL. That was, I think, probably would have been between 2012 or 2013, and it has been an amazing experience to follow cricket, which has been a part of almost all of our lives. The almost I say because a lot of people watch it, a lot of people don't watch it, a lot of people understand it, a lot of people don't. I mean, the famous the famous not understanding person that I know, that I've seen, was surfing on YouTube, and I saw a clip from Graham Norton's talk show where Taylor Swift was there, and there was this another England cricket player, a very famous one. I forgot the name. I usually remember a lot of names, but my fucking memory is a turmoil. And so I don't remember things very easily. So, and I was watching that particular clip, and and she does not understand what cricket is. Like she was asking questions like, so yeah, found it. Kevin Peterson, a legend, of course. So Kevin Peterson is trying to make her understand like what cricket means, what it is, and she, of course, being an American, which in America it's a different thing entirely. They don't have cricket as such. They have rather baseball. They have football, which is an American football rather, and basketball, of course. So these are the only sports that they are into. And there's one stadium that I know of in America that exists there where a couple of games have been played, and I mean, I hope they get into it. It would be another good addition to the world cricket if America also jumps in and starts playing professional cricket. So this is a very fucking hilarious clip where you know test matches. He says test matches and she I think misheard him and then she says chest matches or something. It's a very fucking funny clip. So this is the reason almost some people understand cricket, some people don't. So that was it. That was India versus South Africa. And let's see, when is the next match? That is on 12th June. Oh, nice. Again, evening. So we'll have a second match of India versus South Africa, the T20 series. That is on 12th June. That is on this Sunday. And then we'll have another one on Tuesday. That is 14th June. And so on, so on. Well, fingers crossed. Let's hope India does win. Or else, well, then I'll just go and watch Tom and Jerry or something. Okay, what else I've been doing? Oh yeah, so my co-host and my friend Arnab, he introduced me to an artist called Tamino. I hope that's the pronunciation of his name. So Tamino's first song that I ever heard was Indigo Night. He's a he's a Belgian singer. Amazing voice, and what a amazing musician as well, because he produces a lot of his tracks as well, I believe. And his genre that he dabbles between is a little bit of indie and classical, and over and all, it's rock. So it's like indie rock, or you can say classical, some little bit of an alternative as well. And it was like it was like opening a different door of music. And I saw the music video for Indigo Night. What an amazing fucking music video! It's so beautiful, and his voice is very soothing and very amazing. As if what you would expect someone from Belgium, Egyptian. So he's Belgian and Egyptian, and how sweet and how amazing this voice is, and the music that accompanies his songs and his writing is rather deep as well as very authentic to that level that you understand. He's very simple with words. He's not using too much of as such very complicated vocabularies or something in his songs. But you look at the music videos that are put up with these songs, that accompanies these songs rather, and it's just it's very It's like what beautiful things are supposed to be. We call everything beautiful these days. Not everything is fucking beautiful. Not every infant baby is a beautiful baby. We just call it because we just want to be nice and as such or something like that. But to be honest, Tamino's overall arrangement when it comes to his one particular song, you'd pick up any fucking song. You pick up Indigo Night, you pick up Habibi. Another amazing track that is Habibi. Now, Habibi has a live version that was again introduced to me by a. It is one of the most beautiful, and rather such an amazing melody and such an amazing poetry when it comes to shooting that live version. The video is it's so fucking good because it's just him standing with his guitar, and they shot it in, I think either it's an abandoned place or it's a museum or something, and it's just him in a room, and the camera slowly pushes back from him, and as by the towards the end you see this entire big wide frame of him standing in one of the rooms in the building or something, and he is just going at it. It's such a beautiful song, Habibi. And so recently, this was Habibi and both Indigo Night are from his album Amir, which was I think released in 2018, and it's it's like it's a it's a collection of it's a joint effort of a bunch of Arabic musicians over the throughout the album. If you ever are interested in hearing different music, which is in, I mean, this guy is fucking amazing whatever he's doing it. And he was, I think, BBC or something. BBC had given him something like given him a title. Yeah, given him a title called "This New Sound of the Nile." Yeah, the new sound of the Nile. It was like apparently his grandfather is also an Egyptian who's a very famous actor. He's a very famous movie star, as well as he was also a singer. His name is Muharram Fawd. Muharram Fawd or something like that. I think I just butchered his name. But alas. So amazing album, and I mean, couple of I think he might have ended up on a couple of top 10 lists as well. I don't know that, but the best thing is he's coming up with a new album called Seher. So Seher is expected to be released, I think, in September or something. And he has released two songs so far. One is called The First Disciple. Another one is called Fascination. By the way, Fascination, I'm going to leave a little bit of like a 30-second, like a 30-second single small intro for you, kind of an introduction towards what Tamino sounds like towards the end of this podcast. So do listen to that by the time we end this. And so coming back to the song. So The First Disciple, amazing track. It's about friendship. It's about a couple of things. And I think the time he announced The First Disciple, he wasn't anywhere active as such. Like all of us are, we are very much active on social media and things like that. He wasn't active because Amir came in 2018 and this is now 2022. And between that, we went through the pandemic and everything. And for those 2 years, 2020, 2021, 2022, and close to 2020, he didn't, there was not much out there. He wasn't active or anything on any of his social media pages or anywhere else. And then this April or something, he announced the track that is The First Disciple. And then he released a music video, and that music video is fucking gonzo. It is a fucking beautiful track. I mean, it reminds me of Linkin Park's this fucking amazing Burning It Down. If you remember the video of Burning It Down, they are in this. I hope it's the correct I hope it's the correct one that I'm referencing. That is Burning It Down. Because Burning It Down accompanies the entire band, and rather Chester, with I don't think so. It's Burning It Down. Apparently, it's different one. Let's hope so. And no, I don't think so. It's Burning It Down. There is one track where all of them are in this Lost in the Echo. Yes, fine, found it. So Lost in the Echo. Lost in the Echo actually reminds me of a lot of what we see in the First Disciple. But First Disciple on its own is a very different track and a very different music video. So if you see the the music video for the First Disciple, it's an entirely different. It's an entirely different animal on its own, and his voice is so beautiful. And towards the end of the music video, you see him sitting there. I don't know the name of the instrument. I mean, it looks like a fucking guitar, but so it begins. Like I said, so it begins with it's this abandoned place where there are a lot of people around him, mostly dressed in black jackets, leather jackets, and it's him sitting in the middle. I think it's a guitar, something like that. And then the camera slowly pans in, and then someone moves, and everyone disappears, and it's just him standing again. So you see him standing, and these frames. These are a few frames that will remind you again of Indigo Night. In Indigo Night, he's standing on a roof that is completely surrounded with a lot of those dishes that connect you to the Tata Sky dishes and shit like that. And then, so there are a few glimpses of old music videos as well in this. And it's very, very, very different what you see mostly. And then again, the energy is fucking amazing. And I'm watching the video right now actually. It's very good. And in the middle of the music video, you see a little bit of, as such, it reminds you as if you're in a club or something. The music video for the song handed up from Kamine. I mean, I'm comparing two very different things, but it will remind you a little bit of that somewhere. I think, at least. But yeah, as such, it's completely as if you entered a club. There are a lot of people over there. These are all these underground clubs that you see in movies and TV shows. For example, Succession is a very good example of that. Oh, what an amazing fucking show that is. So you see all these people dancing, and Tamino's in the middle, and then he continues with his verses back and forth. And there are so many things that he's addressing at the same time and giving you continuously. He's giving you an insight of friendship and abandonment, and a lot of things, a lot of themes that keep on pinching back and forth, back and forth. The entire room is so green. Rather not green, I don't think it's green. But I believe it's green. I don't know. But yeah. So, First Disciple was amazing. Amazing. Music as well as amazing song with accompanies amazing music video as well. And then just 2 or 3 days ago, he releases second track, and it's called Fascination. Now, Fascination is, again, it's a very different approach from usually what you hear, what you've heard before in Tamino's music, because it little bit deviates from what it's like. The first time I heard it, I thought, okay, fuck, this sounds like when I used to listen to Switchfoot and back in 2010, 2009, or 2011 for that matter, as well. So it used to be like listening to Switchfoot, Snow Patrol, and the English band Keen, and the Fray, all of those bands, it reminded me a little bit of that. But again, it's a very, very nice track. And the first verse where it opens, there are these four amazing, beautiful lines. I'll read them to you. It's called, this is how it goes. I lack the colors reflected in your eyes. When you look up to the sky, tell me they don't seem to appear. And I didn't cry for that flamingo stuck in salt. Didn't care for it all. While you couldn't hold your tears. Such an amazing line. I mean, I'm still breaking down. But the main, this towards the end of this verse, these four lines actually, in its true sense, fascinate me. And he says that your fascination has always fascinated me. I, it's just simple words and a beautiful thing to say. You make it harder to believe that I was ever really here. And then the pre-chorus hits, it says, I try not to understand, just try not to understand. And then the chorus hits for you with only three lines that, for I've seen enough to know where I belong, and you can't prove me wrong. No. So, just simple words. Like I said before, Tamino is, it's just simple things. He has given you complex matter. He talks about very complicated relationships that are, be it friendships, be it being in love, or a lot of things that I'll be able to find through his songs. And it has been an amazing suggestion from my friend to listen to this artist. So I hope if you want to find him, you can find him on Spotify, you can find him on YouTube as well. It's Tamino, it's Tamino. And I would suggest rather go and listen to first the album Amir, and specifically two tracks, that is Indigo Night and Habibi. Because, and if you are also like a person who shoots for music videos and things like that, it would be an amazing reference point for you to watch those music videos. Be it The First Disciple from his upcoming album, or be it Indigo Night, or be it Habibi's live version. So, yeah, give it a listen. You might find it interesting. You might find him, he's not over the top, he's rather amazing. And then, what else I've been looking into these days? Well, I'm actually excited for Jurassic World. I don't know why. Maybe the other day I saw this TV spot. So Minions, there's a new movie coming. Sorry, there's a new movie coming. Minions. I think The Rise of Gru, if I'm not wrong. And they did a fucking amazing TV spot where there are two minions towards the edge of the fucking mountain, and one of them is like a little bit scared to scream or something like that, and then the other person says, no, this is not how you do it. And he goes over there and he screams or something, he's like as if calling someone out, and then the T-Rex comes in. And this is all animated, so it's fucking amazing. And then he just screams at them loudly, very loudly. And both of them are like thrown away from this entire this scream of the T-Rex, and the sound waves completely take them away. And then he just gets up. Both the minions get up, and they're just looking, and he just says something. I just didn't pay much attention to what he was saying, and then the camera just suddenly zooms out, and you see Jurassic Park, and then they say enjoy, and then the new logo of Jurassic World. And towards the end they say Minions, The Rise of Gru, out soon. I don't remember the date. So I think that's what got me a little bit excited for that film. Much of another thing that I loved for this Jurassic World Dominion was the music that they used while they were cutting the first trailer. It's very, very not complex, but it's it quite gives you some kind of as such a feel for an adventure that is coming. I mean, just even if it's on screen, but it's just giving you some kind of, okay, we are going to give you something amazing to watch, so look out. And it's not like, I don't think so. It's piano usually what these superhero movies cut their trailers with. I mean, I saw the trailer for Black Adam. Amazing trailer, amazing shots. One of the amazing shot that I saw was apparently one of the, oh, it's over the ocean and this guy is flying and this Black Adam just comes from the left hand side and just boom, fucking knocks him down in midair. So the trailer was amazing. I mean, but again, the same choice of music, eerie piano, or as if giving you some kind of a little bit of an insight into, okay, there's this big guy coming, there's this big villain coming, or something like that. So overall, I enjoyed the visuals not as much as music, but I think Jurassic World, be it, of course, it's just another big spectacle of a movie. I mean, what will you expect? It begins with Chris Pratt, his character making a promise for another dinosaur that his kid will be back, something like that, which becomes a joke in the middle, where it's an amazing scene again. But so yeah, so that's how the film begins, and then they find themselves, and they're also this time they're working with the OG characters from Jurassic Park. There's Sam Neill, and what's the name of our Laura Dern? Yes, Laura Dern. Her name is Laura Dern. So she's back in the film as well, and then Bryce Dallas Howard is there, Chris Pratt. You also have who else was in the film that I was excited about to see? We had a couple of amazing actually actors in this one. Now I don't remember. Fucking hell. When I literally have my fucking phone all the fucking time in my hand. Of course, Jeff Goldblum. So that's the scene between Jeff and Chris, where Jeff says, "You made a fucking promise to a dinosaur." And Chris says, "Of course, what's wrong with it?" And then the T-Rex comes. So yeah. And well, I saw the plot line of Dominion. So it's called Jurassic World Dominion. I think it will be out on, Friday, yeah, this Friday. And the plotline this time for this movie, it says Dominion takes place 4 years after Isla Nublar has been destroyed. I don't remember that one because I haven't seen the second Jurassic World because I couldn't be bothered to do so. And so dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside humans all over the world. Oh yeah, okay, that's why dinosaurs were there in Paris or something. At least I thought it was Paris, literally. So this fragile balance will reshape the future and determine once and for all whether human beings are to remain the apex predators on a planet they now share with history's most fearsome creatures. Universal Pictures and Amblin Entertainment, of course. Well, I hope so. One good thing that I absolutely love is the music given to this film is given by the same person who gave the amazing soundtrack of this year's The Batman. That is Michael Giacchino. Michael Giacchino is a legend. I mean, his discography is one to die for. I mean, you can take Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. You take this. What was the film that I was looking for? The Incredibles, or you take Mission Impossible. So he has worked with a lot of directors that he has become a regular with, and Matt Reeves, for that matter, is one of those people because Matt Reeves is the guy who's behind the Apes trilogy, the most recent Apes trilogy that we have seen. And He's also so Michael Giacchino is also composing music for this year's Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear, that film that is coming. And but one of the most amazing soundtracks that I heard this year was the Batman. Michael Giacchino's Batman was what an amazing soundtrack. And before that, the other film that I did hear that his soundtrack was that where he composed an amazing soundtrack. I think that was Ghost Protocol last two was before that. Or because I oh yeah, another film that I did hear was Up. So Up is also an amazing amazing movie as well as an amazing soundtrack that accompanied the movie, which was composed by Michael Giacchino. So I think this is one of the films that I'm excited about that is releasing this Friday. Other than that, I am excited. I'm a little bit excited for Lightyear. It has Chris Evans voicing the character, so of course. Very much excited for Black Phone. So Black Phone is I think it's a Blumhouse production and stars Ethan Hawke. And the amazing thing about the Black Phone is its plot. So the Black Phone is about Finney Shaw. Finney Shaw is this 13-year-old boy who is kidnapped by this serial killer who is masked as if you can say it's like an updated version of the Scream mask that you see, those the masks that are used in all those Scream movies. So he's being held in a soundproof basement by the serial killer, or you can say masked killer. And he there in the entire basement there's this disconnected phone on the wall, and there's this bed. And so the plot says that what did it say? Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot a little bit and just had like a and paused it for a bit. So what does it say? So yeah, when a disconnected phone on the wall starts to ring, he soon discovers that he can hear the voices of the murderer's previous victims. And they are dead set on making sure that what happened to them doesn't happen to Finney. Yup. And it's a very amazing, beautiful trailer. So it's a production of Blumhouse and Universal Pictures distributing it. So I'm excited for that, which is releasing on June 24th, coinciding with the release of Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. The trailer was too long, but still I'm excited for Austin Butler because he's recorded a few songs for Elvis, and the way he has captured. I can say that I've never met Elvis Presley. I've just seen him in his previous films and a couple of music videos, couple of live performances that he did back in the 70s, 80s. Not 80s, 50s, 60s, and those years, whatever is available on YouTube. Because I'm a YouTube guy. I watch a lot of things on YouTube. I'm stuck. I don't know why the fuck, but I'm stuck on this one of the shows. I think it's called 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, and the prequel to that I think was 8 out of 10 Cats. I think it was a quiz show before that. I don't know, but I love those clips. And one of my favorite comedians used to be on that, who sadly passed away last year, Sean Locke, R.I.P. Rest in peace. He was an amazing slapstick comedian. Never had any online presence, by the way. So he's one of those, hardcore stand-up comedians. And fucking hell, what a man that was. So, yeah, so I'm excited for Elvis. Then after that, oh yes, another film that is coming on June 24th is The Man from Toronto. And the reason to be excited for this fucking film, it's going to be a Netflix release. But the reason to be excited for this one particular film is because there's Kevin Hart and there's Woody Harrelson. Wow. What more do you fucking need? Then after that, of course, we have Thor. That is on July 2022. That is 1st July. Of course, 1st July we'll have Minions, The Rise of Gru. Then on Friday we'll have Thor, Love and Thunder. That is July 8th. So I'm excited for both of them. And other films that can be a good watch next month. And that is going to be July 15th, The Grey Man. Of course, there's one amazing animated film that's coming, which has Samuel L. Jackson in it. It's called Paws of Fury or something. The Legend of Hank. It stars Michael Cera. If you haven't seen Juno, I would suggest you watch Juno, or you should watch. I forgot the name of the film. It's called something with the playlist or something, if I'm not wrong. What was the fucking film? Yeah, where is it? How? Nick and Noah's Infinite Playlist. So these are two rather romantic films. But there was a channel that I used to watch when I was living with my parents back at home, and it was a Movies Now channel. It was called Romedy Now. So it used to be rom-com, romantic films plus comedy films. They used to put up films like Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, Juno, and other romantic and comic films. But if you don't know who Michael Cera is, well, my friend, you have no idea. You're missing out on amazing fucking work that this guy has done. Two of my favorite films of his are Superbad and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Superbad 2007, Scott Pilgrim 2010. Amazing, amazing film. And his work, he was also a part of This Is the End, and couple of amazing fucking films that he has done. So I would suggest do give it a watch if you ever find some time. But I mean, I'm excited for Paws of Fury. Then next month we have we have Daniel Kaluuya's Nope, directed by Mr. Jordan Peele. Fuck, I have cold. Sorry about that. On July 22, we have the release of Nope, that is directed by Mr. Jordan Peele. It stars Daniel Kaluuya, Kiki Palmer rather. Then I think on July 29th, the most exciting thing is DC League of Super Pets, which again stars three of the amazing people, that is Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, and Keanu fucking Reeves. Of course, it will be an amazing film. And then we have Bullet Train, which is coming in August. Then you'll also have what other films that we have? Beast, of course, Beast is coming. That is Idris Elba. And Bullet Train is Brad Pitt, Zazie Beetz. Couple of amazing actors from Atlanta, actors from Nocturnal Animals. All those amazing actors are in there. And towards the end of August, George Miller will be back with 3000 Years of Longing. That stars Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba. So that is going to be an amazing film as well. And down the line, rest of the months we'll talk about later. But in most recent times, that is going to be rather more exciting to watch in June. I would suggest you go and watch Jurassic World. That is going to be this weekend, or more like today. And you can watch next weekend. You can watch Lightyear. It is also a very good film. And towards the end of the month, you can catch Elvis. and the black phone if it's playing near anywhere of the theaters that you are a regular at. So that's it for June. Yeah. I mean, I hope this Jurassic World is good because it completes the trilogy. There are going to be three films to complete. It being the final film, who never knows. Okay, moving on. What else did I fucking come across this week? Of course, yes. There is inflation coming, my friend, and it's not a good sign. I mean, you can ask me, a guy who doesn't have a job. So it was a little bit of a bad news for all of us because we're going to get into a little bit of financials. RBI, if you all know, that is Reserve Bank of India, it hiked its repo rate, yes, the day before with 50 bps. So it's going to now affect home loans, cars, the personal loans, as well as a couple of things. And specifically, EMI is going to be it's going to be a little bit costly. And one other good thing that came out of their announcement was that they are going to start soon going to start linking credit cards to UPI. And the first that they are going to do is with RuPay. And one of the statements that I read, it said that UPI since has become the most more or less inclusive mode of payment in India. It's like I don't think there are like 25 crore people who use it, and so this this progress that over the years that has come into UPI, this is the reason that they are now going to introduce linking credit cards to UPIs. And the first one that can be linked will be RuPay, which is of course going to open a lot of horizons, and we can, of course, we can have a little bit of more ease of mode of payment. Another thing that came good out of it was that up to the, let's just say, the transaction of 15,000. So the auto transactions that happen through a lot of people have that, but you need an OTP for that. So in the near future, you won't need any OTP for that, and this will fall under the framework of that is the payments of large values like subscriptions or insurance, education fee, and all these things. And they've also proposed that the limit will be enhanced from 5,000 to 15,000. So all these recurring payments that used to exist, that were there only for 5,000, the limit was only up until 5,000, it's going to be increased now to 15,000. You won't need any OTP for that, so all these auto transactions are going to only save time, and we can have a little bit of a hassle-free life rather than paying for our subscriptions or insurance and other things. And of course, I just hope they come to a better understanding on the scene and on the distinctive approach that they haven't had towards cryptocurrency. I just hope it a little bit subsides, and they hope they all come to a good understanding and we can find a middle ground. What are the things that came out of this announcement? Yeah, nothing else. But I think policy stance. Nope. Okay. Yeah. So. Oh yeah. One more thing that I forgot to actually mention, that is RBI is actually going to introduce towards the end of this fiscal year a digital rupee. So yeah, whatever I said that had to have a distinctive approach regarding cryptocurrency, I forgot to mention this particular announcement. But RBI is still waiting on the government paper for on cryptocurrencies, but they have announced that they're going to start introducing digital rupee at the end of this fiscal year. So all these cryptocurrencies that are going to be that are existing across the world and everything else, we are going to enter into a different direction with this. I hope, I just hope it's good. Or else, what is the point of introducing it and not accepting other cryptocurrencies? Well, what else was I going to talk about? Hmm, oh yeah, I was actually reading yesterday a little bit, and I came across a couple of very, let's say, very deep quotes. And the first one that actually, all of these things actually somehow, you know, they have they are somewhere in a balance with me and where I am in my life. And the first one that I came across was Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks is one of the members of Fleetwood Mac, if you know the band. So sometime I think a long time ago, she said, and I quote her, there were times when I was between 20 and 27 that my dad would say, how long are you going to do this? You have no money, you're not happy, you work constantly, you work at restaurants, you clean houses, you get sick very easily, you don't have any friends. Why are you doing this? And she would just say, because it's just what I came here to do. It's just a simple answer. It's just such a fucking simple answer and so true. And I mean, another thing that I've been thinking about for a couple of days now, that the phrase that you stay true to your path and you keep on grinding and you keep on working hard, you trust your the struggles and the hardships that you are overcoming, and someday, well, satisfaction is a different thing, but someday you might just reach and you might reach a place where you can say, okay, yeah, I mean, I'm still learning, I'm going to be a student, and everyone's a fucking student, except there are a few legends. But you keep on learning and learning, but you, once in your life, you will reach a place where you will say, okay, this is what I wanted to do, this is what I'm doing, and this is where I am, and I'm happy. But I mean, what our father said, I mean, resonates with me. You have no money, you're not happy. It's true. I mean, I literally have no fucking money, and I am a little bit happy. I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. It's a little depressing because I write very fucked up poems these days. And I mean, but yeah, if someone was going to ask me this question, I'll say the same thing because it's just what I came here to do. Be it any fucking thing. This is what I came here to do. Another amazing quote that I came across was Buckminster Fuller. And he says, and it's a very interesting quote. He says, I live on earth at present and I don't know what I am. I know that I am not a category. I am not a thing, a noun. I seem to be a verb, an evolutionary process, an integral function of the universe. And this is so true. This is with, I think it just applies to everyone. And we all tend to think that yeah, this is who I am, this is how I'm going to be, and blah blah blah. But I think if you are not willing to sacrifice a few things and make changes in your lives and keep on, evolving as such with not with time but with yourself, I mean, your evolution for the outside world is a different thing, but if there is no evolution inside you, I don't think so. We're living. I don't think so. Then you're living. You are stuck on the same fucking things, and you're just going over and over and over and over again. I hope that makes sense. I don't know what the fuck. And what else I was reading? Yeah. So there's this filmmaker that I I adore and I absolutely love. His name is Jonas Mekas. And he said, I read a lot, I listen a lot, I think a lot, but so little remains. The books I read, their plots, their protagonists fade. Names of people, books, cities, they are already fading away. Even the titles of films I've seen currently, they've already faded. Everything that I see or read or listen connects, translates into moods, bits of surroundings, colors. With me, everything is mood, or else simply nothingness. To a certain extent, it is right. I mean, this is his personal opinion, how what he was going through and how he was perceiving things and he was taking things in. But I believe that yeah, it's true. I mean, I think I've somehow experienced the fact that if you keep on filling your head with lot of information, you are bound to go a little bit blank. You know, I mean, you think that you need it. You think that you might. I need to know this. I need to know that. But maybe you don't. Maybe the less you know, the better. That's an amazing song by Tame Impala. But coming back to the point, less is better. I mean, less is more, rather. Not everything. We're not supposed to know everything. We're not supposed to know that, yeah, this is that, that is this. We're not fucking aliens, we're humans. And bits and pieces of information is also not right again. So it's a very dicey thing, I mean, according to me. If you're putting your mind to some kind of information, and if it's genuine and if it's honest information, I will suggest you digest it. You take it, you use it. But rather than to have bits and pieces of something about something regarding anything, and then delving into conversations with those bits and pieces, it actually this doesn't come out with any, you could say, any good. It's not a very better outcome of having those discussions because you don't have complete information. You might break it or make it while you're giving those information to someone else, while you're sharing that information with someone else. So yeah, that's a good quote. And what else that I was reading? No, nothing much. Well, another thing that I actually have been thinking about is importance of time. I mean, time time is very fucking important, and I am learning that with each and every passing day. When I know the fine line between wasting time and there are so many things that you could have done with your time. But it's in our control. It's in our control, but we just never go out and actually grab it and make it into something beautiful and make use of that time that we still have. I mean, I've struggled with wasting time a lot, and these past couple of months have been a learning curve. Specifically, post since last year after September when I came back to Pune. I mean, this city is amazing. I mean, I came to Pune. The first time I came to Pune was in 2017. Did my college for 3 years here, then pandemic hit, went back home, then came here again last year in 2021 in January. But in 1.5 year of staying in Pune, I'm going back and forth in the middle as well. But staying in Pune for 1.5 years has taught me a lot. It's taught me a lot professionally, has taught me a lot personally about friends. And I mean, I'm a little bit complicated when it comes to talking about things, but I'm never, I'm never on to the point that these things don't matter. I mean, these things matter a lot, but I never show it. But the learning curve and meeting so many different people has taught me a lot that our world has changed. My viewpoint of the world is very different, and it's going to take a little bit of time making a change into that, um, and putting those factors in use rather. But I don't know. I used to think a little bit different about the world. I mean, I know what exists out there, what is good, what is bad. But like they say, unless and until you haven't had the first hand experience, you never know. You never understand. So be it anything. And of course, it has affected my writing as well a little bit. These days, I keep on writing four lines. Fucking, it has been so long before, it has been so long since I have actually written a very long poem. I used to write 24 lines long poems. Fucking hell. So, like I said, all of these factors and a lot of learning curves, a lot of lessons have been there in a couple of months. And it has made me understand the importance of time is such a huge thing that plays such a huge role in your life. And sometimes you understand it beforehand, and sometimes that entire thing is gone, and the only thing that is left is that you do understand it now and you have a few regrets, but there's nothing you can do. But I'm only 24, so I hope my time hasn't gone yet. I hope I can still do the things that I want to do. And what else was on my mind? Oh yeah, addictions. Addictions, yes. My relationship with addictions it's an entirely different thing. I mean, fucking hell. I've been addicted to a lot of different things. Can't name them because my mother listens to the podcast sometimes. The other day, she heard the first episode and she says, "How do you abuse so much? I never knew my son used to abuse." And there were some anecdotes, some other stories that I told about my grandmother, grandfather. I mean, she wasn't angry. She was laughing, and so I can't speak about. I'm going to be vague about this part, but yeah, it's a struggle. It's a um, for me. Not nothing is a trigger, but usually the problem is that I'm a jackass who sits alone, who reads weird things, who listens to. I mean, I'm listening to good people actually. I'm listening to a lot of good people actually. I'm listening to the podcast episode of Joe Rogan Experience with the Black Keys that I absolutely love. Yesterday I was listening to John Bernthal on Uncle Joey's Joint with Joey Diaz. That was an amazing episode. Fucking hell. He did a recent, We Own the City, that series that is out recently, which is again amazing series, only 6 episodes. It's a limited series. So if you find time, do watch it. And apparently there's an uprising scene, and there were a lot of the backdrop of the story is actually police corruption in Baltimore, the city of Baltimore. So that's the backdrop of the story. And there's an uprising. There's a protest with they were shooting, and so John Bernthal is plays one of the corrupt officers in the series. So he has this shield, the riot shield, and everything. And then he sees a guy coming up to him, and John he realizes that this guy is going to punch me. So as soon as he lands the punch, he tries to block it with the shield, and he is able to block it, but he gets a little bit of cut on his left cheek. And then, just to give his reaction, he punches that guy on his face, and then he runs away. And then when they are done with this entire scene and everything is calmed down, that guy who came to punch John, he comes back and he's bleeding through his fucking head and all throughout this in his eyes or something. And he just comes and gives him a hug and says, "You're a real guy." And then he runs away. And as he's running away, John sees that there are like 4 police officers who are running away. So he wasn't even an extra actor or something like that. So I'm listening to stories, a lot of different stories, a couple of good podcasts that I'm listening to these days. There's this another good podcast that is again out now. It's with Bill Maher. I don't remember. I think it's called Real Ones. The Real Ones is of John Berthal's podcast that you can catch on Spotify specifically. But Bill Maher's podcast you can catch on YouTube as well as on Spotify. And one particular episode that I absolutely love is with Quentin Tarantino. That is an amazing episode. I mean, you can catch Quentin Tarantino on Joe Rogan's podcast as well. There's an episode I think from last year. He came upon when he was releasing his book with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the movie that he turned into a book. And I mean, that is the thing about Quentin Tarantino. He writes lengthy backstories to his characters that can, if you have a table and if you put all of his work, you can actually find enough material to convert it into a book. And I think which is what he did with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when he turned that into a novel and released it last year. I mean, what a fucking amazing film that is as well. Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, amazing, fucking amazing. And what else? What was the other amazing podcast that I was listening to? Oh, you can listen to Uncle Joey's Joint as well. That is also a very nice podcast. And yeah, that's about it. And oh yeah, this is something that I actually wanted to talk about. That is, there's going to be a second book by Quentin Tarantino, which will be published pretty soon. I think I don't know the name of the company, but it's about the films of the new Hollywood, and it's inspired by one of the very famous film critic, Pauline Kael. The book is called Cinema Speculation and is going to be out later this year in October 25, 2022. So you can make sure that you catch it. Of course, Quentin Tarantino himself is a book, rather a complete library when it comes to knowledge regarding movies. And there are some videos on YouTube, if you watch them, you'll find out where this guy comes from. And he was born in '63, so he was during the golden era of Hollywood, and in 1969, the year that is depicted in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he was only 6 years old or something. And fuck, for a 6-year-old to remember so many things and so clearly, and then to put it up as such, it's an amazing feat, all in all. And what else? Well, I was talking about my relationship with addictions. I mean, I'm sure we all have a bunch of them, but it's a struggle. I hope I overcome it. I'm not dying or anything. But yeah. Well, that's it. I'll wrap it up. I'll meet you next week. Next week, we are going to have a guest, which who is who belongs to the music side. I'm more from a film and a writer side, but he is from music side. His actually he released a EP back in Feb, on which I'm writing a review. So the review is going to be shortly out, I think on Monday or something, and we'll have him next week on our podcast. So stay tuned for that. You can expect, as always, our episodes are out usually on Fridays, and if we are ever late, on Saturdays max, because last week that's what happened. And that's it. So this has been your host Andy. Thank you for tuning in Petty Red Tapes. This was episode 5. Take care. Bye bye. See you next week.